Rototherm, based just down the road, less than 5 minutes away in Kenfig Industrial Estate. A little bit of background before we dive in. So it was established in the 1840s, and we make instrumentation devices, so 3 primary product groups that we look after: flow measurement, temperature measurement, and pressure measurement. I live in Neath, working for Talbot. I'm very passionate about 2 things: creating, fulfilling jobs in Wales, and developing and growing people in Neath for Talbot. Right. So the first funding project that we worked on with Neath for Talbot Council was for calibration equipment. So we've got an electronics lab. We make a range of handheld sensors. One of them, for example, is a temperature probe. If you go to IKEA on a Saturday morning, stop in their restaurant for lunch, you'll see our probes being used in the kitchen to check that your meatballs are the perfect temperature before they serve them to you. The reason we know they're the perfect temperature is thanks to the calibration equipment we've got. Now, it's all good and well seeing it in the shops, etc. But what does it mean in terms of our factory here? So we started off with a small group of 8 people making these temperature probes and similar handheld devices. We've now doubled that team and gone from 1 team leader to 2 team leaders plus an electronics manager. So Tom, our electronics manager, he started as an apprentice with us, became a team member, team leader, and now manager. So all of that growth is thanks to us now having the calibration equipment in the lab. And hands up who knows anything about lean manufacturing or lean? Okay, a smattering of you, yeah. So a lot of people talk about it, a lot of people read about it, not many people do it. So for the uninitiated, lean is all about reducing waste. So if you have a lean steak, it's not going to have much fat on it. So really we want to look at what's the value add for our customer. For example, on a CNC machine, cutting the metal is the value add. All of the setup and programming is what we would call waste. The customer's not paying for that. So we've built a continuous improvement culture at Rototherm. We've done that using some unconventional techniques. For example, our working day starts at 8 a.m., but between 8 o'clock and 8:30 in the morning, nobody's allowed to do any work. Sounds a bit mad, it's very expensive. The reason for that is we want people to use that time to make improvements to their processes. So we tell them to fix what bugs you. And then another example is we have a full company meeting twice a week. So we've got about 90 people down the road in our factory. We've also got several sales offices across the globe. We've got another production site in Merseyside. All of those people dial in, production completely stops for those 2 company meetings every week. So yes, we talk about health and safety in those meetings, we talk about on-time delivery, we talk about quality, but the main focus is the 4th pillar, which is the improvements or the lean. So in that half hour in the morning, when you're making a lean improvement, we ask that if you have a really good one or one that you want to share, we film a before and after video, and we'll share that in our full company meeting. The idea being we can learn from each other, and packing might have an idea that might actually help sales save time when they're quoting. So we're all sharing ideas. Why am I telling you this? Well, we host lean tours. So on a Tuesday or Thursday, we invite businesses in. These aren't customers, these are local businesses that we want to help. We invite them in our doors. They can have a full factory tour, and then they get to watch the full company meeting play out. Then they'll often go away and email us, telling us what they've improved in their business, which is really nice. In 2019, the local health board came for a tour, a group of managers from there. In 2020, COVID struck. One of those managers called us and said, "Can you make PPE?" Of course, we naively said yes. The other alternative, realistically, was to furlough a lot of people and stop production. So we started making PPE. Now, we're very good at making things. What we didn't foresee was the bottleneck on packing. So although we went from 90 people to 300 people, and from 8 till 4 shifts to 24/7 shifts, we couldn't pack the products fast enough. So we applied for and received funding from Neath Talbot Council for some automated packing machines, and as a result we were able to provide face shields and face masks for not just every hospital across Wales, but also the wider UK, as well as police force, schools, etc. One of our products is called a thermowell. So I don't know if anyone's heard of that. It's mainly for the oil and gas industry. And effectively you put a temperature probe inside it and it'll protect the probe from whatever's in the pipe flowing at a high pressure. We used to make 1 a day and we were very proud of that. And the industry standard on these products is 4 to 6 working weeks. We found a bottleneck in engraving. We could make them very quickly, similar to the face mask with packing. We couldn't engrave them fast enough. So again, applied for and received funding for a laser engraver. So it's fully automated, scan a barcode, it engraves your product. We went from 1 a day to 30 a day, doubled the size of the team, and instead of that 4 to 6 working week lead time, we make them in 3 days. So now suddenly we're the best in the world at making thermal welds, all thanks to fixing that engraving bottleneck. One more thing, I just want to keep this short. Robotic welding. So I was talking to some guys from Catapult earlier. We invested in a robotic welder, again, thanks to funding from the Talbot Council. They're not paying me to say this. We had 3 full-time welders on site. We've now got 1. That sounds like a bad thing, but the reality is one of those 3 welders went on to become a team leader, and now he's going to become a group leader, because we've identified he's a great leader within the business. The other one is a full-time robot programmer, so he programs our welding robots. So we've diversified his skill base considerably. He's doing a great job at that. Why am I saying that? So some of this funding can be quite scary, especially in terms of automation. People fear for their jobs is the reality. What we do, we take the 3 welders and we involve them in the process. So we take them to visit other companies that use robotic welders. They know welding better than us. There's a lean guy, Paul Akers, don't know if you've heard of him, look him up if you haven't, but he says that the further away from the value add the decision is made, the worse the decision will be. So for example, in welding, if we make a welding decision in the office, it's not going to be the right decision. We have to involve the welders. Yep, that sums it up pretty much. I'm going to stop that there because we're running behind. Thank you for your time. Any questions, come see me afterwards. Bye.